Hi everyone. I would like to congratulate all of you today on 18th May on the occasion of International Museum Day. It's a pleasure for all of us to be responsible museum professionals in the service of the society. Every year worldwide, this day is celebrated in a certain ways considering the theme proposed by International Council of Museums. This year, 2020, is however being different for all of us, along with adapting ourselves to the new life, compelling us to replace the museum in a different plane and making us to rethink what can be the next, what is there further, or what is beyond. Personally, it leads me to think on the line of redefining the role of museums. In this process, museums becoming quote unquote inclusive at the same time widening their horizons. The other day, I was remembering seeing an exhibition called Another Day India in the Museum of Archaeology and Anthropology, University of Cambridge. There was a display on musical tradition of Vil community of India. It was a beautiful display with audiovisual effects. The whole showcase was so finely presented with the objects and the audiovisual supplements. It was so wonderful to think that dance and songs are seen as the key repositories of indigenous people's history, heritage, and sense of identity. Of course, the use of audiovisual material in museum display is a widely accepted phenomenon. They are the speaking materials which accomplish the objectives of the display to make people perceive with enjoyment. There was nothing as such different in this case, but my association that time with the National Sound Archive, British Library, helped me to understand that how that museum was actually collaborating with the Sound Archive, how they were sharing the information, how they were enhancing their database by sharing their knowledge. I remember how the museum and the archive considered themselves as knowledge repositories and was working as a network. My that experience, which was all the way back in 2018, helping me to make an attempt in today's situation to redefine another role of museums. This attempt is more towards new museological approach, involving communities at the same time involving other resource centers like archives and other similar repositories. While new museological approaches are frequently adopted in a conventional museum today, besides organizing workshops among the community members, meeting community representatives, and other such activities of the museum have been always successful in creating a sense of belonging to the heritage they represent. And we all know that such activities also contribute towards generating preservation awareness among the communities. What if we collaborate in this process with other repositories? How about thinking in the same line, as I said, for musical traditions used in Museum of Archaeology and Anthropology, showcasing the resonant association of material culture and the musical heritage? This also leads to the question how to connect the material culture, that is the tangible heritage, and the musical heritage, that part of intangible heritage. Here to be mentioned that museums or audiovisual archives or similar repositories worldwide have been playing a major role in documentation, preservation and dissemination of both tangible and intangible heritage of a society. But here comes the question, what is beyond? In other words, what could be the role of a museum beyond preservation of knowledge and being arbitrator? Hence the opportunity of reconnection appears. Reconnecting knowledge or resources of various archives or museums with the communities might be considered as the opportunity to recirculate the knowledge. This can be the social responsibility of these organizations instead of just being repositories or equally valid for museums, archives, or such similar institutions. The new museology theory also propagates community involvement. It talks about the journey of museums from object to people, contextualizing rather than displaying an object in a glass showcase in a conventional museum structure. So it is very clear that a museum or an archive or the knowledge repositories need to engage communities in preserving the heritage for continuity. Again, engaging communities might not be limited to giving back the communities their objects or recordings. The process has to be recirculated. It is a recirculation of knowledge. Here, for example, if we consider some more interesting examples, say the Brindavani Bastra, which is with the British Museum London. If we exchange some more interesting facts associated with the Vastra and say if we connect that with other historical textiles preserved in Assam State Museum and say connect that with some historical recordings preserved in Archives and Research Center for Ethnomusicology, American Institute of Indian Studies in Gurgaon, which thereby enhancing the resources of both the museums and the archives. In this case, this will be an international collaboration. In other words, reconnecting resources and communities beyond national boundaries. The outcome of reconnecting these resources finally will get updated in the knowledge bank of all the three repositories and will be accessible to the wider users. Thus, knowledge gets recirculated through the reconnection, repositories get reunited, thereby enhancing the strength and opportunities beyond museums.